All right, so today we're playing Captain Howler's Sea Scourge, and we're playing a kind of a not quite aggro, not quite mid-range, just like big bite out of people. We're playing a ton of cyclers, so we're playing good old Sky Crash, Shredded Sails, a lot of cards that just have cycling. I try to keep the cycling cost down to 1 and 2 mana sparingly. We've got a lot of looters like Smuggling Copter, Key to the City, the Celestis. Monument to Endurance is a really good one here. Also some good pitch spells like Demand Answers. We get to play cards like Brass's Tunnel Grinder as an engine card. We get to play Drake Haven. We also get to play Improbable Alliance and the Locust God. Just a lot of really cool stuff. But also, like, this isn't a blue deck where I felt the need to put in a ton of extra turn effects. In fact, if you were to just like move some of these high cost cards down, like Fury, you can just pitch to a red spell. Ember Cleave, probably going to be like 4 or 3 mana on the attack. Olifanto, 1 mana card. Like, this is a fairly low curve. Like, every card that you cycle, there's a micro decision to make on whether you hold it or whether you cycle it. Most of the time, you are just going to cycle it. So that way you can get some extra damage with Captain Howler. I have yet to actually cast Lorien Revealed as a draw 3. I've yet to actually draw 4 off of Boon. They've all just been 1 mana, deal 2 more damage, and also redraw a card in addition to the draw. So it's like a 1 mana draw 2 card. Deck's great. Deck's fun. We're gonna play it tonight. Oh, I was messing around with a fish food deck earlier. In the Brawl Hub, there's a guy who's running it, and I'm pretty sure he's trying to tune it for League specifically. I'm not sure how viable the deck is in League, partly because League is doing friendlies, so they're playing with alchemy balanced cards. But I was like, you know what? The show, this looks fun. I think it just makes some changes and it's pretty good. Oh dear. Urza Lord Protector. Gotcha. So this is going to be one of the few times I think we've seen a control matchup in the time that we've been playing this. Hand's perfectly fine. Lightning Axe deals with Urza. They're cracking right away. We're probably going to go Scalding Tarn into Surveillant. They went Shockland? Shockland, not Surveillant. We don't have anything to do turn 1. I'm going to go ahead and grab this so that way they can't just tails down our fetches. Rainstorm. Rainstorm might be worth holding on to. If nothing else, it's a card we can pitch to Subtlety. I would like to play the boosted Sloop. Arid Archway? What is going on over there? Do I want to drop the Key to the City? Key's a free discard outlet. I think I want to drop the Key to the City. There's something to be said about like using the Brainstorm here. Relic of Legends, okay. But I think we are just using that as subtlety fodder. Brass's Tunnel Grinder, okay. Brass's Tunnel Grinder is actually really good here. Go ahead, drop that. Now we can drop, say... I might actually drop the Boosted Sloop. I want to hold on to the Celestis as... Well, the Boosted Sloop we can pitch... No, we can pitch anything to the Lightning Axe, okay. Oh, and there's our land for next turn, excellent. Now, the Brass's Tunnel gets a counter at the beginning of the end step that we descended each turn, so it is actively wanting us to discard. If they go for Urza, that's currently both of their colored sources. Yeah, and they have 1 colorless remaining. I'm gonna evoke that. Evoke that, pitch the brainstorm. Because if that Urza resolves, they have a chance to tap it for wash away mana later. So they might have been counting on being able to go into like an Arcane Signet or something. Because right now, they are stuck on a colored mana. No, they've got Narn Veil. Alright, now this... Honestly, this could just be... What? This is 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Draw a card, discard a card. That's an instant. Lightning Axe is also an instant. We could go Celestis. Get a little breathing room. I think if we resolve Captain Howler, we're fine. Key to the city... What? I would love to get the brass down, but I think we're just gonna go for it naturally. I don't want to have to like try and get really tricky. Oh, they're going with House Meld. Fuck. Yeah. So they just get our commander forever now. All right. Turn target creature to its owner's hand. Well, shoot. Not a whole lot I can do about that. House Meld's a hell of a card, folks. Like, I keep forgetting that that's a thing that exists and just, like, can completely shut some decks down. Now, we have some other options. We're probably going to have to very aggressively go after it, though. We've got, what, 2 mana available? So let's go ahead and Fading Hope Urza. Urza's also providing, like, a discount right now. This is add to, put a charge counter sack. We'll go ahead and bounce Urza. Bounce Urza, take the scry. We're going to start trying to get Brass's Tunnel Grinder going. Yep. Prismatic Vista is not what we want. I'm trying to think. What do we have that, like... Oh, Simulacrum Synthesizer. Okay. Simulacrum Synthesizer is a big problem. Because this will just, like, make a bunch of creatures that just completely destroy us. The house mode is so dirty. They kept both of their cards, so they like that. Let's see. We could key to the city, drop the snow cup covered. I think what I want to do instead... drop the izzet. We'll pass the turn. We're really gonna try and get Brass's Tunnel Grinder online. We can kill a couple of the synthesizers. We can't really fight them long term. Let's see. This is 5 damage to target creature. We have to see what they choose to do with their next cast. Usually with an Urza, the end game is to just go into Paradox Engine. There's currently 1, 2... They could go into that. Have some mana left over. Oh no, it's God Pharaoh's statue. Okay. So everything I cast is going to cost way more. They have 2 mana left over, so I can't censor it. Let's go ahead and drop the censor. And then, yeah, they do get, like, the giant synthesizer artifact. Which, arguably, maybe I should have been holding... Oh, it's exactly 5? Okay. Lorien Revealed is not going to help us out here. Flooded Strand. That is what I want. Go ahead and drop... Yeah, hold on. Drop the Flooded Strand. And we'll go ahead and play out the Fumarole. We at least get a creature now. The Searing Rift is now online. So as long as we can just like... Oh, they have the one ring. Yep. We're in a bit of a sticky wicket, folks. Oh, and they get Karn, so they can go ahead and start making Karn Structs. They have 2 7/7s. We are... some deep shit. Sweltering Suns is not going to get there. I don't want... I'm trying to think here. That's not going to get us anywhere. We need... Gyro Reach wouldn't be bad. Restless Spire still isn't what we want. We're just going to take over half our health next turn. That is a creature. Yeah. Losing Captain Howler like that just really, really hurt us. And unfortunately, the synthesizer is just really good at... Put one into your opponent's hand. The extra surveil. They still have the Field of Runes too, so they can just take us off of our Discover land. And then the Pharaoh's going to make it so that way 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anything that we do cast. I think we have a Cyclonic Rift in the deck. The Cyclonic Rift would be amazing. Phyrexian Metamorph. Nope, it's just going to be another synthesizer. Yep. I'm going to try, but like, I think this game's over. Like, there's just nothing in our deck that beats that. We're not playing any meltdowns or anything like that. And unfortunately, we just didn't see any of the other creatures we have. Like, yeah, that's a shove aside. I'll do this just because I do get to at least use the Searing Rift. Yeah, that's GG's. Ugh, disgusting. I keep forgetting House Melt the thing. And now that I remembered, we're going to take a quick look to see if there's any reason for us not to be playing it. The answer is very likely no. The question just becomes, like, what are we taking out for it? Probably just going to be... some synergy card, right? I'm not a fan of... I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of how this card works. The fact that it's all part of one resolution, so there's no real state-based action to get your commander back, just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Like, it is what it is, but it's not how I would have chosen to have that work. I'm gonna hold on to Escape Protocol. I think Escape Protocol is perfectly fine for this. Sensor is maybe like the weakest of the cycling cards here. One of these days, going to remember that House Meld is a very, very, very potent option. Should probably go in pretty much all, if not most of my blue decks. Rocco's Street Chef. This is usually a Heart and Scales deck, which means that they get really big, really, really, really fast. Let's see, and the opponent's going first. Now, anything that gets exiled from our and put into our exile pile isn't going to be all that great. I would love to go... Alright, so we're going to be on the draw. I think this deck is not going to have a lot of issues trying to hit our third land. I would like to get Improbable Alliance down so that way we can get pressure. They are playing Naya, so I would not be surprised if Improbable Alliance does not stick around. Incubation Druid is already like a massive pain in the butt. I very likely should have just mulligan for some early. I forgot that Incubation Druid is a card that this type of deck loves to play. This is whenever a player plays a land from exile or casts a spell, so at the end of the turn, they get to go ahead, exile. They get like anything. Rocco's going to put a counter on Druid. Oh, there's the wash away. Cheeky. The Fable is not gonna do what we want to do, fortunately. This is what? Until your next end step, each player may play that card they exiled. This is Knight of the Sweet's Revenge, so all the food... Oh my god, that lets them just go absolutely crazy. This is when we recycle, we can exile target artifact or creature we control. The Fable helps us dig faster. I think this game's going to be about going big, though. I could have cycled the Boon of the Wish to hit the Improbable Alliance, that's true. I'm willing to trade... Well, that's going to be near impossible for us to beat through now. Yep. Incubation Druid now taps for 3 mana because it has counters on it. Bristly Bill is going to start making everything obscenely huge, and we just got an incredibly slow start. And that's Roxanne, who is now going to be in the business of shocking us every time she attacks. Alright. And there's a land that we can't afford to play. Okay, so like... I can go Escape Protocol into Captain Howler. I don't know if that's too slow. What is... Innkeeper's Talent. Permanents with counters have Ward 1. This is just too slow. Alright, so... This is whenever it plays a land from exile, casts a spell. I guess we cast Captain Howler, because we're not going to win if we don't resolve him. And then we just have to, like, start digging like crazy to try and find Team or Battle Rage and try and get a one-shot win here. But if they remove Captain Howler, like if they have any removal for Captain Howler whatsoever, I think we're just done. I think we just got run the hell over. And this is kind of what I mean when I bring up the idea that they just have like 5 mana open, so they can double all the counters on everything. Behave combat, put a 1/1 counter on a target creature that you control. Put on Bristly Bill, swing with everything. Now Bristly Bill trades with Captain Howler. I mean, yeah, that's just gonna be 10 damage straight to my face. 12 with that. No blocks. Yep, Bristly Bill doubles all the counters. I'm at 4. A River's Rebuke would go really nicely right about now. There's Witch's Mark. Maybe I should have been better to play the Fable just to have a blocker, or just to like, block at least 2. Don't think any of that matters. No, we hit Izzet Charm. This is whenever we draw our second card each turn. Yeah, I don't have... Yeah, I'm just gonna call that game. Someone I was talking to about Brawl mentioned that if you're losing to Naya decks, you're probably just like being way too slow, and like I felt it there. We had some good setup, but like Rocco just punches so unreasonably hard. Omnath, Locust of the Royal. Okay. Main answer is Oliphant. This is a little slow. And we're on the draw. We do have Frostbite to get rid of any mana dork. Oliphant to try Mountain Cycle. Fairy Vandal, which we can play on 3 with drawing support. That doesn't really work. Like this hand, I don't have faith in this hand. This one's a little weirder. We have Hollow One, Key to the City, Sky Crash. I think we need to do better. Brainstorm with Stubborn Denial, backup, Shove Aside, and Evora. Okay, we can go ahead and hold on this. Stubborn Denial counters any non-creature. Shove Aside is removal. Evora helps deal damage early on. I think I'm putting back the Stubborn Denial. The downside of only having the 1 fetch to start with is rough. We're on the draw, so Shove Aside does have flash. Witch's Mark. I want to hold up to this for Surveil Lamp, but there may just be a scenario where we have to Shove Aside because we want to play Evora on turn 2. For example, if they go Lotus Cobra. Which means if we do fire with the Brainstorm, we're going to be a little bit locked, but we have enough filtering to get around that. Right now, if our currently dies to a Stiff Breeze, we need to discard more cards in order to make this actually work. Witch's Mark can help with that. I also have to be careful because Omnath does now shock. Let's see. Now this is interesting. We have a Brainstorm and we have Arid Mesa, so we have the potential to like shuffle back anything we don't want. But I think just getting Evora up to the point where we can discard is really potent. So let's play Snow Covered. Let's play Witch's Mark, drop the Arid Mesa. The scrap. You know what? No, I'm gonna discard Brainstorm. Want to discard? No. Let's drop the scrap. We have blood tokens as is. Okay, now we go ahead. Go ahead, punch in. We get to make another blood token. We pass. end of the turn, we will get to brainstorm with Arid Mesa upright. We can also use Evora, drop another blood token. Just drop the pathway. Alright, we're gonna take that one. They might be leaving up mana to counter Captain Howler. So let's go ahead and brainstorm and sculpt our hand, because then we can hold on onto sync. And ooh, battle rage and stubborn. And then we'll draw our fetch land first. Let's draw the pathway. Because now what we can do is we can actually like pump up Evora and then use the Stubborn Denial. So I'll pass the turn there. I'll crack the fetch land to shuffle away the Arid Mesa because we don't need to draw that. Roaming Throne. That doubles elemental triggers. Let's go ahead and put that back in their hand for a turn. All right. Okay, so now they're going to mana drain, but they're tapped out for it. All right, let's go ahead and give them the cheekiest fuck you ever. Counter the mana drain. Now they don't really get to do anything. We can play Captain Howler with mana open. Go ahead, drop the Smuggler's Copter. We get to extra draw. Now Evora is just like huge. And Evora is actually going to just fucking murder them with the Teamer Battle Rage. Okay, there's the Omnath. You can shock for 3. If you have like another burn spell, you can aim that Evora. I forgot that the Florahedron wasn't elemental. You can also like discard the Sokazin if we really need to. It's currently 2 mana. We have instant speed discard with the blood tokens. Yep, I think we're just gonna I think we're just gonna murder them. There's blood in the water, and we've got vampires and sharks. Yeah, they're completely tapped out. So unless they're holding back Commandeer? Another option is like we can go ahead. Ooh, Spike Field. I like that a lot. We only need 2 mana for Teamer Battle Rate. Yeah, so as long as we hold up like I guess we could have gotten more mileage out of like everything there, but I just want to swing out. All right, so they're gonna put a head on everything. They are officially dead. That's kind of how the game was going back when I was testing this originally. Like it's the weirdest thing. When I was testing this deck initially, it wasn't having any problems. And then, you know, you just get a couple of rough matchups and you start seeing some of the flaws in the deck that you didn't realize were there. Like, hey, you know what? That's it works. It works, it's fine. Yeah, we definitely would have gotten a lot more mileage if we had just discarded it to like a blood token or something. And whenever you discard a card, she gets a counter. Like that's Then we had that really, really big tempo win. Who's P? Ah, okay. I've got someone, hold on. Okay. That, oh yeah, I'm a, the werebear deck that I had, that you saw earlier. Someone's asking for the list. And like, I think I definitely stream it at least once this season, right? Ooh, it's Bristly Bill. Okay. So this is going to be a game where we want really early interaction. And we're on the play. That's good. Ghostly Pilferer can slip through a lot of stuff. This is discard, can't be blocked. Demand Answers draws us. Oliphant draws us. But we're missing a lot of other early interaction. Are we fast enough to get through Bristly Bill? I think I want to believe we are. Let's go ahead. We'll start the Surveil Lance that way. We don't need Steam Vents. We're just going to go Island, cast Pilfer. Yeah, okay. There's the Birds of Paradise. Okay, so I'm going to cast the Pilferer now so that we can get the redraw when they cast Bristly Bill. Because what they're going to do is they're going to play Bristly Bill, play their land, probably a fetch land, start putting their counters on Bill. But if they put the counters on Birds of Paradise, we're still good to shred. Oh no, they're just going to play Tireless Provisioner. Yep, they're going for... Hey, speaking of House Meld, by the way. Okay, so I am willing to trade this Ghostly Pilferer for the Tireless Provisioner. Let's see if they do take that. They're going to take the trade. They do not. They do not acquiesce. So... When this creature becomes untapped, you can pay 2 to draw a card. I think I just hold on to the Shredded Sails. I can hold on to the Shred Sails. Shoot the bird. Because functionally, it's going to have the same idea either way. I think I shoot the bird now. Like, just give them less mana to work with on their turn. And then we still have Flooded Strand. We'll play the House Meld on the next turn. Scythe Cat Club. Whenever a land you control enters, put a counter on target creature you control. If it's the second time, double the amount of counters. So this is how we lose the Time War. I could potentially just race Bristly Bill, but the Scythe Cat Club is probably a little much on its own. I'm going to decline that. Now, here's a neat idea. I could House Meld, get the Scythe Cat Club, and then whenever we get creatures, get counters, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, activate, discard the Ollie. And we're just going to try and race for this turn. That way we can potentially draw into a new answer. This does mean that we take a lot of damage short term, but I've got confidence that we can pull ahead depending on how this turn goes. It's a problem if they go for a fight spell. They spend their turn doing that. Also, if we go with House Meld, we can go straight into Flash Trans. No, they're going to play Guardian Project. Okay. And then... Oh, they're out of lands. Okay, perfect. Because now we just get to, like, absolutely Jones them. Yeah, absolutely Jones them. And then we can go ahead and discard, say, Demand Answers. We're going to hit him for 11. 6 of it they can't block, and we get a redraw out of it. And next turn, we are going to start paying the 2 to draw off of the Ghostly Pilfer. Plus, when they play Bristly Bill, we get to draw off that too. And we just hit another land. Oh, and Fear of Missing Out has Delirium. So, yeah. Ooh, and we hit a Brainstorm. Alright, they gotta redraw out the Guardian Project. Okay. So, I think in that scenario, Bristly Bill really just... I think they spent way too much time setting up. Like, they had a Scythe Cat Cub. But if they didn't have any lands in their hand... Okay, I guess shooting that Birds of Paradise hurt a lot more than we thought. Yeah. Sometimes you take a shot on these things and you just get there. Trying to think about what we would do in terms of like trying to get the deck to go a little faster, and I don't think it's really about us going faster. I think it's just making sure that we have the early interaction to slow the opponent down, like right here. Medicant Core Guideline. I've been seeing a bit of this guy. The max speed is really cool. They get to shove aside early. Our lands come to play tapped, and we have the 1 removal. This is just really, really slow. Like, we can lead off a Mystic Sanctuary into Sulphur Falls, but then Forgotten Cave also comes into play tapped. Let's see. Oh, this is somehow worse. If we can go Marauding Mako into Gyre, that doesn't do what I would like it to do. I'm trying to think. Prismari Commands, not bad. Royal Scions goes crazy. Okay. This is a little awkward, but at least has more playables in it. Got Wooded Foothills to clear off the Brainstorm. Fetch land and Brainstorm. Fix a lot of problem. Let's put back the Boon of Witches. Just want to make sure that we hit our land drops. Ousted of Life's Bounty. Okay, well then. Brainstorm first. You're only active as long as we have cards. This is where the Brainstorm actually gets a little more awkward, I think. Because now I think what I need to do is I need to surveil first and foremost. Also keep in mind that they can go ahead, play Guide. They can play... I was going to say, you can play Guidelight and then swing with the Ousted. Did they keep a 1-lander or something? Or is it just that they were expecting us to have something like Wash Away? Which, like, alright. By the way, I did favorite the Veteran Brawler reward here, so we'll get to see the progress that we make as we get ever closer to claiming our rightful title. Titles don't necessarily, like, do anything for me in the context of Arena specifically, but, like, you know, if you're gonna main a format, you might as well get that main format, right? Alright. Gitrog Ravenous Ride. This is a really ridiculous commander. Depends on how quickly we can get this going. We do have Marauding Mako to start with. We don't have anything that really makes it go. But we do have Reef, Vents, Arcane Signet, potentially Sink into Stupor if we really need it. Plus Fading Hope. Well, subtlety helps. I think I'm just eating the 2 life here so we can go ahead and get Mako online. Like, Mako's not going to be doing a whole lot now. We don't have a lot of enablers for it. But the sooner that we do get it going, the better. Promox. That makes a lot of sense in a deck like this. What they put Tamio Safekeeping into a Topiary Stomper. This is target creature, right? We could have subtlety'd that. That's true. Could have subtlety'd that, slowed him back for a turn. Now we're just looking at Gitrog next turn. That's a little too hot to handle. We have the Arcane Signet here. Pass the turn. Hold into Sink into Stupor. We're probably losing the Stubborn now, right? Right. Target creature to its owner's hand. Let's let them sacrifice the Stomper, I think. Oh, wait, no, they don't have to do that. Okay. Okay, so it's only if it hits do they get to sacrifice. All right. Well, Raking Claws helps with this a lot. So I am going to go ahead and pitch the Stubborn Denial to the Subtlety, I think, because then we can hold on to Sink Stupor. Because remember, with Gitrog, you just want to keep them from like getting their value engine offline. Oh god, they would get to draw 4 cards and then drop all their lands immediately. This way, we do get to attack in. I was really hoping for some discard action. Raking Claws is like some really, really strong offense here. We could potentially use that. Get Captain Howler to deal a ton of damage. That's potentially like 11 damage right now. Hold on. Where did... I'm sorry, what? Did you put... Wait. What did you do with Gitrog? Okay, well... I think we're just gonna... You know what? Let's just go ahead and cycle this. Because we need the Scaling Knight. Alright, we do get the redraw. Drop the snow. Pass. Okay, so Gitrog did go back into their deck. They can still cast Gitrog. We can sink into Stupor. Nope, they're going to Garruk's Uprising. If they're taking a turn to set up an enchantment like that, I am fine. They still can't block because they don't have 7. They need 7. They have 5. Really hoping we can find a little bit more gas. Yep. All right. That's Improbable Alliance. Okay. I'm running out of gas here. This is really, really, really bad for us. And it's kind of what I mean. Like, we had the chance to do like a ton of damage early and up front, but then we kind of miss out on a couple of really important redraws. Normally, if you could just start chaining the cycling together, you'll get a lot of damage. Fortunately, with the Improbable Alliance, oh my god, absolutely heckin' brutal. Let's go ahead and sink into Stupor that. Let's see, we have 1, 2, You need 3 other islands. Well, we know what's coming up next turn. That is not gonna give us the help we need. I play the Spike Hazard. Go ahead, play the Spike Hazard as a land. Play Fable. Now we at least have, like, just more stuff. This is going to be tight. They can spend another turn to play Casualties of War and set us back immensely. They can destroy the Improbable Alliance and get rid of one of our engines. But then we still have Reflexive Kikijiki to try and punch through. They can't target Captain Howler. They don't have the mana for that. Unless they top deck another land, in which case they would have the mana for that. And that would be incredibly unfortunate for a gal such as myself. Oh no, Meat Hook. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take the read here. We do get a creature off of that at least. And then I'm gonna hold on to the Sokuzin so that way we can use Captain Howler again. Like, we got 1 fairy. Oh, Sheoldred, you. Oh, you wench. Alright, well now we have to play Sokuzin out as a land. That's incredibly unfortunate. Yeah, we are very, very quickly falling behind. And they still have the casualties up. Okay, how do we want to do this? I would love to be able to use this again to try and get more draw going. Captain Howler worth... damn. We tried. We really tried, but unfortunately, we just couldn't punch through when it counted most. Let's see. Play Casualties of War. We're losing one of our lands regardless. Like, unless we just, like, the other thing is that they still have Gitrog in hand, so they can sacrifice their Sword Tooth. They're going to get to draw 5 cards, put all their lands into play, and we don't have the catch-up for that. Yep, take 9 here. I'm not sure why they're not swinging with a Sword Tooth. This is 5. Activate if we have 8 or more cards in our graveyard. We have 11. This is draw a card, discard a card. I'm just gonna concede this. I don't know why they didn't just ram in with the Gitrog when I was hellbent, but we are very clearly behind. And very much not catching up. Like, I guess we could have top decked like a House Meld or something. I don't know. You gotta value your time. And at that point, it's... I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing. Sometimes you see someone who could have had game, and then you're like, I don't know if you're just like, if you just missed the line, or like if you're deliberately dragging this out for some reason. Sometimes it's either or. This is Cody, right? Right. Cody Voracious Codex. The mono spells. This can be like just all wraths, in which case we're going to want the Stubborn Denial. The Copter also works here really nicely. We can go ahead and play the Copter, and then Captain Howler comes down, pilots the Copter, and we get to use the loot effect. Let's go. There's an interesting sequencing here. Yeah, let's go ahead and lead off on the Flooded Strand. And then what we'll look to do is we'll look to go turn to hold up the Izzet charm. Okay. I could Stubborn Denial. I think I do. I think I want to Stubborn Denial. I think I want to Stubborn Denial very specifically because Izzet charm is good counter magic. We want to keep the Copter going. Hollow one is a good way to put up any sort of pressure. Playing the Spike Field Hazard next turn. That's Cody. This is 2 damage. I want to delay you as much as possible. Hold on. When you cast your next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your deck. Okay. Do as I say, not as I do. We still want to make sure we play the Copter. We still want to make sure that Captain Howler gets a chance to start swinging in with the Copter going. And then we can always, like, potentially cycle the Hollow one if we really need to. Broadside Barrage is a great draw. That's removal for Cody. Alright, now they redraw Cody. They play Cody. They get to play Tap Land. Cephalid Coliseum. I'm trying to think. I can go with Captain Howler. I wish I had the Stubborn Denial still. Let's drop the key to the city. Let's go. This is currently 3. They can recast Cody unless the only lands in their hands are tap lands. I would take the Bond of Insight. Lorien Revealed. Okay. Sweet. Alright, let's go to school. Timed Explosion versus Boosted Sloop. I kind of feel like maybe at this point I just dropped the Hollow one. The Hollow one, we do get to just, like, destroy everything with the Timely Explosion if we need to. Whenever you attack, draw a card, then discard a card. Copter's already doing that. Go ahead and drop the Sloop, I think. Alright, get to play a land, pass the turn. I don't want to use ill-timed explosion to deal with Cody, but I will if I have to. Oh, they regrew their Thoughtseize off their Bond. Okay. Well, we lost Kaido. I would love to get the Captain Howler going. I guess that's the upside of, like, the Boosted Sloop, because this is whenever you attack. You just play it as, like, an enchantment. And then that's, like, multiple instances of the so-called looting. Give me a draw 3, actually. Ooh, excellent. And then, yeah, go ahead. Punch in for 5. What do we want to drop? Probably drop Signet then. Because they have to respect the explosion, right? They kind of have to. Go ahead, put this on blue so we can hold it to the Fading Hope. I'm actually gonna use the fading. Oh my god, they had crashing rhinos in suspension? Good. I'm gonna hold on to the fading hope, because then I can go ahead and bounce Captain Howler if I need to. We can also play Evora now and have her copter the smuggler. And yeah, this is literally just, you know, turns brilliant ultimatum combo. Shouldrick's Edict. Well, that deals with Captain Howler for like a turn. But I'm also fine just like playing out Evora and Ristic Study and Fading Hope. I see. So that's what they're gonna. I can still Fading Hope to save Howler, right? So let's go ahead and Ristic Study. Ristic Study resolves. Sweet. I can play Evora. Evora now saves me all sorts of trouble. Go to combat. Draw. Oh, Teamer Battle Rage. Hey, how about that? We can drop the explosion now. Oh, wait, hold on. Could I have just, like, killed them potentially? I would have gotten them down to, like, 1 if that had been the case. I can also turn the hollow one down to 1. That's the turn. They're still holding the Shouldrick's Edict up. We have Evora. We can just sacrifice Evora. It has to be a Wrath. That's what Faded Hope is going to help us with. It has to be exactly Farewell to deal with the copter. Three damage to each creature. 3 damage to each creature? 3 damage to each creature. We can use Blood. Potentially save them. I think that's fine. Alright, bounce Faded Hope to hand. Shouldrick's Edict does not do anything. You have 3 mana left. That's not enough for a Time Walk. You don't have anything foretold either? We are going to go ahead and crack you open like a vault. Do we have enough? I think we do, right? We have enough islands out. Mountain, cave. We do not have enough mountains out. So go ahead and grab our Surveil Land. Surveil Land says no. Okay, so now we have Wash Away set. And we get there. Hey, you know what? Sometimes people try and throw the book at you. Take a bite out of them. Take a bite out of crime. Bite out of learning. Take a just take a bite. Just really dig into a good book and like casually check it on my wife, who is currently playing Elden Ring, and making sure that I'm not breaking her concentration. She's been on the DLC content for a little while. I'm rooting for her. Ah, that feels good. Hollow one. We didn't really get a chance to like really go in on the. Like it was there, just didn't think that all the way through. So if we had kept like if we had kept that boat, then we would have 2 looting triggers, and that means that the hollow one is basically one. Oh my god, we have the mirror match. Oh my god, we have the mirror match. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So is your shark better than my shark? Currently, that is not the case. I've got Sanctuary into Pilfer. Pilfer can't be blocked. We've also got cards that will get bigger from Pilfer drawing. I'm gonna look at that. The barrage is pretty good. It's gonna be really hard to actually deal with. Yeah. Let's go! My wife just cleared. Which one was this? Final boss of the Elden Ring DLC. Let's go. My wife is goated. She is like easily the best cat ever. Let no one say otherwise. They could have like a stud. Oh, they're gonna brainstorm. Well, if that's gonna be the case, then I'm gonna surveil. Fading Hope, we're gonna leave that on top. That's some cheap interaction we can use for Captain Howler. It's also cheap interaction that we can use for anything he tries to put his effect on. Also, hey, you know what? That last game, we can actually say that we used Lorien Revealed as a draw 3. Actually, for real. Alright, so they went ahead and they brainstormed. Do they have a fetch land to clear off the top of their deck? They do. Alright. We've got demand answers. I'm going to go ahead, drop the Air Mesa so we can brainstorm. There's Fear of Missing Out. We've gone ahead and added that to our deck. Currently, just land instant. Artifact. They almost have it. So we have Brainstorming, Fading Hope. We can use that to tempo out the Fear of Missing Out. Depending on what they want to do here. Momo, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Oh my god, Kite. Oh my god. What the hell? Someone is on the wavelength here. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to brainstorm. And then House Meld's not bad. I want to hold on to the Lorien Revealed. Let's put back the Pain Land. And Raking Claws is really good here too. Guess we put back Demand Answers, right? And then we're going to fetch and clear off our deck. We're going to have to grab a shock land here. And then, so this has the downside of like completely resetting their Fear of Missing Out. But now they don't just like get a thing that they can play for free. This is creature or planeswalk. So, we've also got the Royal Scions here. Fear of Missing Out just gets full on FOMO. Just gets set up. This is First Strike and Trample. How do we feel about this? I think I'm actually going to play the Royal Scions out now. Oh, Fury into Raking Claws is potentially... Let's drop Lorien Revealed. Like, I am giving up a ton of value in order to set this up correctly. But the ability to have Royal Scions out and take out Kaido in the same turn is just... chef's kiss. You'll love to see it. Whenever this creature attacks for the first time, so that's not a good House Meld target. We'll probably just Broadside Barrage that. Oh, nope. There's Captain Howler. Okay. Here's the rub. Captain Howler is going to deal like 7 damage and get the draw card. House Meld cannot target it until we have 6. So what I'm going to do is discard this Phoenix. And then I would love to play the Signet. This does mean that the Royal Scions just like die, but they also don't get a draw off that. I think I'm okay with that. Like the upside of potentially taking Howler away from them is just too huge. And like treating the Royal Scions as like a draw 2, discard 2, gain 7 life for 3 mana. I think I have to be okay with that. Alright, so So they name pirate. Yeah, there's fear of missing out. Fear of missing out has delirium, so it does enable the extra combat steps. Faithless loot. Fortunately, broadside barrage can deal with fear of missing out at the end of the turn. And like I said, they do not draw cards. All right, here's hoping that we hit a land off the top, because I am... No, let's hold on the broadside. If we... Heuristic Study does not get there. Let's think about this. We can wait until their turn. We can also play Captain Howler out.
Support has arrived.
Lucky, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you. We can play Captain Howler. But the biggest issue is that the fear of missing out does just get to, like, go crazy then. I think what I have to do is pass the turn. Captain Howler can still, like, put it all on fear of missing out, and then fear of missing out can draw them a bunch of cards. That's kind of like the really cool thing about Captain Howler. There are 4 more card types in your grid. Untap target creature. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So, like, the best thing to do would be to go ahead and choose Captain Howler on the attack trigger target. Yep. Okay, so there's Mischievous Mystic. Whenever you draw your second card. Oh my god, that's a card I want. Alright, let's see. They are going to put it there. There's an additional combat step. Yep. Alright, so I want to see where they put it on Captain Howler, because if they put it on Captain Howler themselves, then this is the scenario. Yep. This is what we do. And then we hope that they don't have... Oh. They got it. They got it. Oh, no, it's... Okay. It's just Luring Reveal. So they do get to deal 4 damage and then deal some... Okay. Stubborn Denial. Discard a card. Gotta be Stubborn Denial then. Right? Love Heuristic Study. Alright, so we're only getting smacked for 4. And we get the draw card. Alright, so we take the 4. That sucks. But, now they have to spend another turn to cast their commander. Go ahead. This is +2/+2 flying in haste. Only evidence 6. We have that in spades. What we got? Royal Scions. And also Broadside. Mischievous Mystic. That's a card that's the type of card I was looking for this deck. We can attack in... I'm going to hold back Captain Howler. I'm going to hold back Captain Howler very specifically because, 1, we are currently not the beatdown. 2, because if what they do is play Captain Howler, crew the boosted sloop, then, like, they're going to lose the fear of missing out regardless. Like, that is just going to happen. Unless they put all their triggers on the fear of missing out. But then fear of missing out only goes up to 4 power. Captain Howler has 6 toughness, which is why I put the Phoenix on him. Yep, okay, so they are putting on the boosted sloop. This is just gonna be really awkward. Oh wait, no! I forgot! Oh no, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Yeah. We can go ahead and house mail now, but unfortunately they had a much stronger start. No, not even just a stronger start, like we just struggled to keep up with in terms of like actual total land. So, you know what? I'm going to respect and just bow out. Like, okay, you know what? You got it. You got it. And also we found some we found some of the cool tech I was looking for here. Let's see. Probably just didn't have my filter set correctly. When I saw it. Oh yeah, I don't even have this crafted yet. This is why you always have to be careful with your filters when you're looking for this sort of thing. Whenever you draw your second card against flying. Yeah, no. The other person knew what they were about. Like they had very similar cards to what we're running here. Okay, so we want to run Mischievous Mystic. We're cutting out for that. Weirdly enough, I'm just not feeling NT. Like, it's a weird thing to say, because NT is really strong. But the fact that the cards are going into exile makes this really awkward. And my wife was actually experiencing the same thing when she tried to build an NT commander deck. Like, I'm always worried about things getting exiled that I can't, like, actually play, and then they have, like, no discard value either. Okay. Asheton's Scarab's Fist. This is a really scary one. Whenever you discard a creature, you can pay 3 to make a tap token that's a copy. But it is very boltable. Fading Hope hits to help us draw with Monument to Endurance. Yes, please. Let's go ahead and lead off on... Oscillate Pride. We want to go... Kitsa. Kitsa's very likely to just, like, eat removal. So this is going to be a tempo play more than anything. Evora is a really good play around. Alright. Play Kitsa. They might still have one... Oh, nope. It's Rafine. Rafine... We have Lightning Axe to deal with Rafine. What are we doing if we have 2 mana worth of stuff? Play Evora. Go ahead and... Well, now we don't have anything to... That's a little awkward. That's a little... I forgot about the ward. Alright, send a message. Forgot about the... Otherwise, I could have played the Monument to Endurance this turn. I also could have Lightning Axe, but then not had a lot else to do. The Blood at least gives us the ability to start ticking Evora up, I guess. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm cracking this Blood token specifically so we can try drawing towards more land, which we desperately need right now. Rafine. The plus side is that unless they have like a Mox or something, they can't play Ashton this turn. They get to, what is this? X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So they still get to drop something into the graveyard to reanimate. Case in point, a goddamn Ashen Rider. Oh, and never mind. The Lightning Axe is actually just like, you know. Oh, hey, speaking of. And this is whenever it dies too. Rude, going straight for my lands. I mean, just what are you gonna do? I knew we had to hit the Rafine first and foremost, and then I completely forgot about the ward cost. So like that's completely on me. Absurd start, absolutely absurd. I mean, Legacy, they have to deal with Archon of Cruelty, and Archon of Cruelty can actually just, like, single-handedly lock stuff out. Meanwhile, I'm completely forgetting about Ashen Rider. Alright, so we have Ketramos. We have some amount of creatures. We have some amount of removal. Ketramos. This is good. This is, like, really, really painful because they can play hard exile control, and this hand doesn't deal with that. This hand deals with it kind of less. Like, subtly pitch Brainstorm to keep Ketramos, them off Ketramos. Wonder as a potential discard target. Monument to help us out later on. Ristic Study, I think, makes this worthwhile. Throw back the Ominous Seas. Although the Ominous Seas with the Ristic Study is... that has potential. I think I'm just dropping the Forgotten Caves as a land. I don't like it, but... this is what peak performance looks like, I guess. Bloodstain Mire pass. Drop down the Ristic Study like ASAP. Apparently not. Because that is very much like holding up Failure, I want to say. Teamer Battle Rage. I don't think I'm allowed to say no to you. You're actually one of our win conditions. I'm going to hold for one turn. Okay, so that there was no stop. That's not Failure. Black Market Connections. I am going to bounce you back. So that way we can go... drop Shivan Reef. Drop Captain Howler. And then next turn we can drop Ristic Study. We can drop Kaido. Oh, they're gonna ramp us. Hey, you know what? I will gladly take that. They're not gonna... we don't have to worry about any Blood Moon effects, but I am gonna grab an island, so that way our island Sanctuary resolves. And this is part of why things like Path of Exile are actually just, like, really awkward. You know what? Make a ninja to start, so that way we have something on board.
I'll go high.
Now, next turn, we can actually go ahead, play Captain Howler, play it around Mana Tithe. And this is where Ominous Sea potentially goes crazy. Nope, they're going to go ahead. Catch your most. They might swords the token? Never wanted more cards, so that doesn't work. Okay, they're going to Fragment Reality. We do get a redraw off that. They get a redraw too. That doesn't matter as much. Ooh, that's really good for us. We could probably just discard the Storm. And then... yeah, go ahead, pitch the mountain. Go combat. Swing. Get the redraw.
Cool tech, right?
That's the turn. Alright, so this is where things are going to start getting dicey. The opponent got to untap with Ketramos. We have Teamer Battle Rage ready. Cleansing Nova, destroy all creatures. Why am I not surprised? Alright, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They get a redraw off the Bajuka Bog. Let's go ahead and brainstorm. Put both of those back. Even though, like, we're just gonna redraw everything again. Like, this is unfortunate. If this is just gonna be counterspell.deck, then if this is just gonna be...
Follow me, pump.
board wipe.deck, there's literally nothing we can do about that. And since their commander is indestructible, they don't really have an incentive to not do that. Alright, Scrabbling Claws. That is a... Exile a card from their graveyard. Yep. That's just a free draw each turn. One more card in exile, and then Ketramos is good to start attacking Kaito. Got Ghostly Pilferer. For Abomination! Ow! If they hit... I need them to not hit my Battle Rage. Okay. They hit Mountain. Mountain, Improbable Alliance. Improbable Alliance is so good for them. Jesus. Yep. Okay. Ketramos can swing at Kaido. I'm actually okay with that. Because, like, I'm going to try and one-shot him right now. Yeah. Go ahead and drop Shove Aside. And then... got the Lightning Axe. Hold on. I'm gonna do this just because I can. There we go. Insult to injury, you know?
We got this.
Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. All right. Okay, we managed to get through that. I was terrified that this was going to be a farewell or something. No, they wouldn't want to play farewell in Ketramos. But, like, you know, just kind of low-key, But, no, sometimes you can get the combo win like that. You can get the old Battle Rage. Dome them for, like, literally their entire life savings. You can, you know, do what Musk is doing, break into the social securities of everyone and walk out scot-free with trillions and trillions of dollars. Sorry, was that too real? Regal Imperiosaur. You are a pretty fantastic card. Not really a card that goes in the Shark deck. I have orbs? I have one orb. There are many orbs to ponder, but unfortunately that one's the best one that I could come up with. I think I might need to put in a few more 2-cost rocks just to get Howler going a little faster. Maybe I do need to put in like at the very least a Mind Stone. Just something to boost up the speed a little bit. Wash Away going first isn't bad. We have Fairy Vandal, play around stuff, Improbable Alliance, Boongiver. This isn't like the greatest hand of all time, but it's not bad. We'll play Shivan Reef. Improbable Alliance and Fairy Vandal together. How do we feel about that? Guardian Idol. Okay, so they're probably going to have some sort of backup then. Misty Rainforest can grab a basic if we need it to. So whenever we draw a second card. Okay, they're going to go for Urza with Mana Tithe backup. That would work. No, it's the Celestis. Notably, I should have cracked my land first. Oh, they're just going to brainstorm. Okay, that's fine. I should have cracked my land in response to the Celestis, so that way there's not an opportunity for the opponent to Tails in me. There's not a whole lot I can do if they have Stifle, but at least this way we can start getting some additional pressure on. Grab a basic. And then we'll just start poking it with Fairy Vandal. Now any incidental... Power is good. Demand answers, Witch's Mark. Both of those are perfectly fine. I'm probably most interested in trying to get Improbable Alliance to resolve right now. This could be a spell. No? Okay. Okay, they're just gonna Island Cycle. They're digging for ramp really hard, so I'm terrified. Because at this point, they don't really need to rely on Urza. They can just do whatever the hell they want. And this is kind of what I mean when I say that we're almost not going fast enough. Might Stone, Weak Stone. Yep. And so that I can -5/-5 our creature. Alright. This is unfortunate. Because now Urza is just like a constant threat. And we don't have any way to deal with that. We just don't. 4, 5, 6. 6 mana. They can cast Urza like a couple of extra times. Meanwhile, this kind of sucks. I guess what I need to do then... Let's see. Frostbite's not going to get there. We'll go ahead. We'll try and draw some extra cards. Mana Drain will be great next turn. Mana Drain can actually pull us out really big. We do at least get the fairy going. Missing land drops. Not a lot you can do about that. Okay, they're going to commit to removing the Improbable Alliance. They spent like 2 pieces of removal on relatively small cards. That is a problem. This is going to make a big, big old construct that we just have no way of interacting with. This is 3 discard. Look at the top X. Alright. Well, fortunately, the flexibility of this deck is that we just get to redraw. And... Alright, so I can play the Lonely Sandbar. I think I need to do that. And then we're just going to pass the turn. They get to untap. And they get to tap 5 artifacts and creatures and just get a free land. Which, there's no real reason for them not to. Because now anytime they cast a creature with that mana, they just get to make that token. They're running really light on fuel, but they can just cast Urza over and over again. I'm going to use the Mana Drain the first time, I think. Actually, you know what? That is a very acceptable Mana Drain target. That is what's going to help us go. And we have to pray that we draw into some sort of counter magic. Keep Urza from coming out the turn after. Holy shit! They scooped from that? Okay. So let me get this straight. You managed to get your Barracks of the 1,000 online, right? You got your Barracks of the 1,000 online. You have a 5/5 that's actually just going to get bigger because every time you recast your commander, which goes back to your command zone, by the way. And every time you cast it, you get to make another beater. I am way, way behind on mana. And you have your Might Stone, Weak Stone to potentially go Super Saiyan at any potential moment. But you scooped because I washed away your Urza. I don't get that one. I don't get that one at all. I mean, like, depending on what I draw off the top, I guess they could be in a, oh, they should have counter spells for this. But that's part of what makes Barrack of the Thousand so strong, right? Like, now that you have this available, even if we're trading 1-for-1 and I'm having to hold up mana to keep countering your stuff, you still just get an infinitely growing amount of constructs. And then I like, sure, yeah, I can go draw land, use the 4 floating mana. I can use 2 of that, go down to 3, play Captain Howler, use 1 of that, 1 more land to play Brass's Tunnel Grinder. I can drop pretty much whatever I draw, and then swing it with a token, try and get a redraw. Just, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Like, okay. That is how you know for a fact that that was absolutely a salt scoop. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make like a quick let's just make a tune-up. Okay, so in terms of our 2 mana options, we have Milestone and Ornithopter of Paradise. I think Ornithopter of Paradise is sketchy, in part because it's so multiple, but at the same time, it being a creature means that we can potentially have Captain Howler buff it, and it can swing in. Cold Steel Heart taps for colored mana. That's not bad. It's the trade-off. It's, do you want to play something that gets bolted, or do you want to play something that comes into play tapped? Because you're not going to be able to tap in for mana either way off the bat. I feel like with our lands on some of the slower ones, we're fine going Cold Steel Heart. Cold Steel Heart just might be a little too slow, though. Just double checking. It would be Crag then. Yeah, Crag I can see, absolutely. Okay, so then at that point, you just want to add in like these couple of cards. Treasure Dog might be good. The one that has First Strike and Menace. And then Captain Howler can potentially like buff that, or it's a treasure to potentially like play Captain Howler a turn early. It's weird. I should like Hollowed One a lot more, but I just don't think it's working. Like, I think if you're going all in on like pitching and discarding, it's fine. I don't think it's working for me though. I've been pretty happy with most of these ones. House Mill just unfortunately had a very unfortunate opportunity to showcase itself when we were getting beaten down like no one's business. So put in the Mind Stone first. And then remember that this can just turn into like a 3/3 that helps beat shit down. Battle Rage, Sky Crash is still fine. Vacant Claw is still fine. Divorce. I have not had a chance to play our own FOMO, but I think you saw right there why FOMO is in the deck now. Kiss is still fine. Pilfer, okay. Vandal. How am I feeling about the Vandal? The Vandal gives us something to play on the opponent's turn. It is whenever we second card, so this kind of does a Captain Howler impression. The Escape Protocol. Maybe the Escape Protocol. Too cute. The Escape Protocol is probably just a little too cute, unfortunately. Because I feel like I want to hold the cycling cards to use them offensively, and that is very much a defensive use of the cycling cards, which isn't bad, but it has also just been a card that I don't feel like we have time to set up. Like, maybe the other setup cards I shouldn't be worried about playing out as much, because the idea is that we want to play them out after we have Sharks going. Fading Hope, Demand, Shredding. We don't have any ramp here, but we're up against Toski. Toski can't be countered. It is also indestructible. Fading Hope bounces. Demand answers. Our lands come into play. Slow. This is... So we have land. Theoretically a land. Search is a land. A counter that we can't use. A removal spell that doesn't work. Okay. Let's think for a second. On paper, this is awful. This is absolutely awful on paper. I think what I'm doing... Alright, there's the Lighted Halfling. Their stuff can't be countered anyway. So, I can go Bolt... Halfling. Hold up Luring Reveal so we can cycle it to grab an island. Use that to play the Fable. Alright, that's just Paradise Druid. That's fine. We want to grab... We'll grab our Shockland. Shockland, Shockland. Do 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 do. Shockland, Shockland. Okay. Now, Wash Away is still like a counterspell. We might not be able to use it on Toski, but we can still use it on something. Okay, so they are just gonna scoop. Was the goal to just play your green creatures and then leave? Must have. I mean, like, I thought that they were going decently wide. The Sanctuary comes into play tapped. But we can go ahead, crash in the Goblin Shaman, play Captain Howler. We don't have any trample, though. Sometimes you just, like, get completely shut in the face by reanimated Ashen Rider, and then sometimes you just get a free win from the opponent deciding that they would rather not interact with your deck. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Malik Reforged Researcher. I have not seen you in a hot second. Power and toughness are equal to twice the number of instant sorceries in your graveyard, and the first instant sorcery spell you cast each turn is 3 less to cast. This ends up being like a spell slinger type deck that wants to like just fling everything, in which case the Rhystic Study ends up being really powerful here. Let's go ahead, pay the 2 life. I am absolutely gonna Lorien Revealed now, so we can go ahead, grab our basic island. I could drop the Fear of Missing Out now. I think I'd rather hold up the Fairy Vandal, and then we gotta play. We have to play the Rhystic Study. Like, that is non-negotiable. We are going to draw so many cards off that. They're holding up 2 mana. What are they gonna do with that? Censor! Ha ha ha! You fool! You absolute fool! Alright, I hope you're prepared to help me draw literally all of the cards. Okay, this is interesting. So we're gonna play the Fiery Islet. We cast the Monument to Endurance, right? We can also try playing Captain Howler. They're probably expecting Captain Howler. Go ahead and play the Monument, because they're gonna have to... Alright, so they do go ahead. I'm gonna pay the 1 here. I mean, if they're just gonna play Drago, then this Rhystic Study is actually just gonna be the bane of their existence. Because I'm not gonna stop playing Rhystic Study. I think we hold on. Like, okay, that's a brainstorm. Alright, now we get to go ahead, drop the brainstorm, get a redraw. Ooh, I like that. And now Fear of Missing Out is active. Sweet. What are you going to do on our turn? Prismari command. Okay, so they want to draw 2, discard 2, make treasure. Discard 2. Treasure. You know what? Let's make you do that again. I guess I could have used Sink into Stupor on their turn. That way we can go ahead and play Captain Howler. Now they just have things to do on their turn. That might have been the wrong move. That very easily could have been the wrong move. Because depending on what they're holding, now they could just get value off of Prismari command again. Although, we do get a attack with Fear of Missing Out. Let's assume... No, they're just going to go ahead and collect it now. And... Okay, so they did pay the 1. 4 damage. That's fine by us. They have 7 cards. If they're building towards a Mizzix Mastery, that's a problem. Blue-red has enough ways to, like, deal with Captain Howler. Oh, but we just get team with Battle Rage now. Let's go ahead and... If we can, like, get this to 12 or so... Then... It's not quite there. But, like, that is a lot of damage. Oh, wait, hold on. This is going to be... That's something I probably should have considered beforehand. There we go. Now we get to draw 3 cards. It's almost entirely land? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? We drew like 8 cards? Almost all of them were lands? And we couldn't kill them? I mean, like, that does happen. They didn't get any time warp effects in there. Alright, they're gonna Lorien revealed. Mizzix Mastery is what? 8 mana? 3, 4, 5, 6. They can still time warp. They can't Karn's Mastery. There's for Discovery. We get a redraw of that. Like, they're not going to Cyclonic Rift us. They're not going to River's Rebuke us. We get Subtlety now, so if they try and cast Melik, who is currently 18/18... That's just not happening. I'm sorry, Miss Admiral Brass, but that's just not happening. Like, I'm pretty sure your fate is sealed at this point, unless you have a land drop that you're not telling me about. Unless you have land drop Time Warp. If you have land drop Time Warp, I will shut up and I will proudly pay my respects. I'll go ahead and donate to my social security cause. Well, see, now you don't even have that as an option. You're just trying to dig. What are you digging for? Well, whatever it was they were trying to dig for, they couldn't find it. GG's to us. Ristic Study. The value of Ristic Study isn't that it's necessarily going to draw you a ton of cards. You shouldn't rely on it as a draw source. It's the fact that your opponent is going to do everything they can to try and deny you that draw. And that means that they're tying up all of their mana and giving you a chance to catch up and beat them on tempo. That is the value of Ristic Study. Sip. Should we do a sip? By the way, we are going to be wrapping up at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. And that is very specifically because I'm trying to get into a habit of getting ready for bed earlier. And part of getting ready for bed is going to end up being... Ooh. Oyami Nartok. Oyami Nartok. Polar Werebear. That's spicy. Alright, so we have Fury. We have Oliphant. Review. Fury can actually go pretty hard in terms of like trying to slow them down. If they don't Fury though... we have 2 ways to search lands at least. And Arena of Glory is pretty nice. I might end up using this to grab a shock land. Specifically... Alright, let's see if they're willing to Tails End me here. Because if they're willing to Tails End a fetch land, they are... Woof. Fortunately, we're not hurting on lands, but that is 1 less counterspell for Captain Howler. And I am A-okay with that. We also have this arena. Now, let's see. The Goose. Let's see. What do you say? It's Ward 1. Whenever you sack a token, perpetually gets 1/1, and the ability also triggers if it's in exile. House Meld. House Meld, you would say. We're going to flash out the fairy if we need to. I think we do. Here's Arena of Glory. Okay. Now this is interesting. This is a 4/5 with Hexproof. We can use the Vandal to block. Let's go ahead, play the Alliance so we can start making some chump blockers there too. And now we're going to have a chance to see exactly... yeah, we'll go ahead and block. And it does not have Hexproof. Fury deals 4 damage. Oh god, I can't do anything about that. Like they could grab Counterspell Shark. I'm gonna pitch the Lorien revealed here. Yep, that's a 4/4 Goose. The Tails End. You're seeing exactly why I try and play around Tails End as much as possible. Okay, so this is where I feel like I need to go for broke. I can play Captain Howler, but yeah, it's just gonna get counterspelled. We'll call that GG. Ugh. If we had not gotten Tails Ended, we might have had a chance to try and keep pace with that. Maybe. As it is, though, now the Werebear is completely unlocked to just continue beating us down. The fact that it's a 4/5, I forgot that it was a 5 toughness card. Fury does absolutely nothing to that. Like, I can try hard playing Fury in that scenario, but then they still have the counterspell for it. Let's see. Yasharn, Implacable Earth. We can't pay life. We can't sacrifice permanents. And that is why we play around Tails End as much as possible. Let's go ahead, grab our Thundering Falls. For Cotton Cave, that's a redraw. let's go ahead. We'll crack the Prismatic Vista now. Grab our islands. That way we're a little closer to island stuff. Play the Mind Stone so that way next turn we can go Captain Howler. If we didn't have the Mind Stone, we can go Smuggler Copter. In fact, this is a good turn. We're going Smuggler Copter now. Shock the Snake for tempo. And yeah, having an untapped rock makes this feel so much better. Azusa, so they can go ahead and play multiple lands now. But it's a green card, so it doesn't matter. Alright, then we're going to go ahead through the Copter. Probably drop the Shredded Sails. Land for turn. Potential land for turn later. This potentially deals with flyers, though. I'll drop the Forgotten King. Alright. Land for turn pass. And then next turn we can go ahead, drop the Mystic, drop Avora. Yep, Yasharan Depth goes ahead and grabs basic forest, basic planes. Azusa lets them play both. Let's see. Wonder. Don't mind if I do. Alright, so this will give us plenty of tokens. Go ahead, crew the Copter with the Mystic. Go combat. Draw. Discard Wonder. Put it on the Howler. And like, that's all we need. Sweet. We do have Mako here. We have Bloods, that way we can make Avora bigger. Courser of Crufix, not too worried about that. They do get to play lands off the top of their deck. That's Endurance. Endurance has Reach. I want to hold Fading Hope so that way we can deal with Endurance off the top. But that implies that they have some sort of a draw effect to do. Everything that we have flies. So I'm pretty sure that's the One Ring. That is the One Ring. So we are not dealing any damage this turn. Okay. Pass the blocks. Go ahead, chump. Now, there's no reason for us to attack, right? This is whenever deals combat damage to a player. I can play the Marauding Mako. Are they willing to board wipe? I feel like in a scenario like this they are, so I'd rather hold on to the Mako to help rebuild. Sky Crash doesn't do anything. Shredded Sails can help out later. Spire has 2/1 with First Strike, and whenever this land attacks, scry 1. Yeah, I think we're just gonna chill. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, make a fairy. Really don't have the work. I mean, you get to draw an extra card. You get to play Endurance. Endurance does eat the Wonder, though. So, like, we are going to have to make sure that that's factored into everything when it's all said and done. Oh, so they are just going to... This is return target creature. They're going to hit our Looter Scooter. Let's think about this for a second. So we're going to have to punch through a bunch of things that don't fly. You know what? Let's see. This is a 3/4. I'll take that. Let's go ahead, grab another island. Actually, hold on. We can grab like any. Grab one. We don't have a third island yet. What's this? Okay, so now they can endurance, and they can get rid of the wonder that's in our graveyard. Or they can just go ahead and play boring collects. That's cool too, I guess. Now this is a scenario where playing Marauding Mako makes sense. They're gonna be able to. They're searching their deck, so they don't get to draw the Beast Whisperer. How are we gonna punch through this? They get Lush Portico. Oh, they chose not to draw for the one ring. Razor Glass Ambush. Okay, so not gonna need that. Skyclave Apparition. They do get to play that, so we're gonna have to use our Fading Hope to protect against it. We are actually very quickly falling away from this. Yep. You get to play Skyclave Apparition. What are you targeting? Maybe the... You don't want to hit Captain Howler. No, I think you do want to target Captain Howler. That's what you want to hit, right? You're thinking about it. You are thinking about it. Let's save Avoria. The blood tokens that we can get from her are actually... Ooh, Nelly, yep. I was going to say very, very nice to have. Think about this for a second. I will go ahead and take the 4, I guess. We still have to worry about the endurance, too. I mean, here's Kaido.
Come on, Pom Pom Chan. We've got a fight to win.
Now, the real question is, can we... What can we spike? What can we spike off the top?
Follow me.
Ill-timed Explosion. Ill-timed Explosion potentially wipes the board. Potentially gets rid of the Crufix. Get a Mako out. I've got 4 mana. Let's go combat. Swing with Captain Howler. You can't block. Let's go all in then. Kiki Jiki. This is discard a card. Why am I not able to activate this? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Well, at least we get to draw some extra cards.
Your secrets will be mine.
Yeah, it really... It's supposed to be letting me activate the blood... Oh, wait, no, I can't sacrifice permanents because of Yashar. Okay, you know what? That actually makes sense. Now the Misty Rainforest... Oh, the Misty Rainforest doesn't work either! Right. Okay, then. Understood. Loud and clear. Okay. Understood. Oh, so they did have the endurance. Well, okay, so we lose our graveyard, but that's fine. Overwhelming Splendor? You're running me with Overwhelming Splendor. You son of a gun. I mean, like, I shouldn't be too surprised. But, like, damn. Okay. Really do me dirty like this. With a reprieve, too? Hold on, you're not just gonna, like, blindly swing out with everything, are you? Like, you're not, right? You're just gonna, like, hit me for 10? Okay, so we have outs here. We have outs. If we can just, like, bounce.
Follow me, Pom Pom.
Discard a card. The explosion doesn't do a whole lot. Remember that they're just going to counter whatever we have in the first place. Think island. Let's attempt the Brass's Tunnel Grinder. They can reprieve this. Alright. We're going to go ahead and just drop it. Oh, an Ember Cleave. You don't say. So that makes you what? 4 exactly? You have no lifelink to speak of except the remand? Yeah, I think... No, this doesn't work. This doesn't work because it's exactly double red to do it, and then... the reprieve... Yeah, oh god, yeah, this is like... It just gets countered and returned to hand, and then that's GG. Oh god, that hurts. That hurts. That hurts a lot. We missed on it because we didn't have the quad red to cast this. That hurts. GG, I guess. Overwhelming Splendor. That is brutal. That is... You hate to see that. Was I tapped out? I probably should have tried digging for counter magic if that was going to be the case. Deck needs a surprising amount of tuning. This is the... Yeah, this is the one that just puts creatures and vehicles into play, then each one of their creatures has trample. Okay, so it's like, I'm on the play. I probably hold on to this. You probably crack this now. And then... try and get the Ristic Study online like ASAP. That light of half lane, I am not happy about that, but I don't really get a lot of say. Lightning Axe changes that equation a little bit. I'd rather use it on the Ovaya. Alright, we'll go ahead and play the Sky Ray. I'm still going to drop the Ristic Study on the next turn, which means that for Sky Pathway, this goes on to red. Oh, never mind. We're actually just going turbo now. The cost of getting this out immediately is that you have something that is incredibly shockable. Which means I guess I should have aggressively discarded this. I can still do that. I can demand answers, make this a little bit bigger. Is Drake Haven going wide? It might be. The trample doesn't seem as big or relevant. I'm gonna Lightning Axe either way. Vandal. Yeah, drop the Vandal. Keep the Kitsa. And the downside is like they can still just play a 5-mana card on the next turn. Like they can drop a Vorinclex and then I'm completely shut out of that. It might be that I need to invest in a Chromox here. Which, if that ends up being the case, I am sad. I didn't get a chance to play my Rhystic Study. Oh, they're just gonna try and like beat in? Aggressive. We can play Captain Howler now. But I am just gonna play the Rhystic Study so that way we can try to force some reloading if they don't just tempo us. If they can go ahead, play their commander now, we get the redraw. No, they're gonna play O'Hare. That's bad in its own right. Well. Pass the turn, block everything on O'Hare so they don't get free value, I guess. I have to be fine with trading Howler for O'Hare here. They're reaching the mana quantity where it's not really worth playing Ovia except as a trample anthem. O'Hare gets to look at the top 1 card of their deck. They have enough mana to just like pay through the Rhystic Study tax, but that is meaningful. It's meaningful in that any chance that they want the double spell is going to increase our chances of getting a draw out of this. And if we go into next turn, I don't have time to play the Drake Haven just yet. It's going to be the Otter. And then I'm going to cry if this ends up being like a massive giant growth, but I'm not sure exactly what giant growth they could be playing. Like, they could try fighting. Oh no, it's Return of the Wild Speaker. In which case... Oh, they just get to draw like 6 cards and they get to take out... Oh no, they just took the draw. Okay. So I guess we get to play... both. Go ahead, grab our Shockland. Sweltering Suns doesn't do anything. Otter, there's Drake Haven. And then... go ahead and get our chip damage while we can, I guess. And then after this, we have to play Locust God. If we even can. That Return of the Wild Speaker just... they've got so many lands set up. And gas for days. We have to pray that they whiffed something awful. Tribute to the World Tree is not awful. That is, in fact, grossly amazing right now. Especially since it puts a lot of their cards out of Sweltering Sun range, so this is probably just going to be held as a cycling card. I would love to play Captain Howler, because Captain Howler is part of how we're going to start making our comeback. Platinum Angel. Well, that's burnable off of Broadside. Okay. So... let's go... we don't need to use the Scrapyard this turn. Draw a card, discard the Suns. And then... I guess we could pay the one now? Make the Drake? Rather than setting up the Improbable Alliance, because we just need help now? Like, don't worry about the Alliance, just drop the Locust God and start getting all those blockers that you need. And then cry when Ovaya just gives them all trample, and now your 1/1 little duders just don't do enough. Also, be careful because they have Kogla. Kogla can come down, fight. We can also use Kisa. We can use Kisa to make another token this turn. And then at that point, we're dropping the Improbable Alliance. Alright. Go ahead, they pay the 1. Whenever you creature control deals combat damage during your turn, put that many counters on it. You may cast this card from your graveyard by removing 6 counters from creatures. Ugh, disgusting. That is a massive, massive worm. And it is a 7/7. So they get to draw 2 cards, and it's an 8/8. Trying to think here. I think the only way we're winning is if this scrounging Skyray actually manages to get through everything. Okay, so we ate like 2 of their mana. That's not nothing. Okay. Pass to the end. And then we're gonna go ahead and take the draw. Draw, discard. Probable Alliance. Probably. No, discard the land. Five, 7, 9, 10. 9, I guess. 9. Put them down to 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you can just like draw a card. You've already got like all the cards in the world. Captain Howler's not going to get there. I could try Locust God. Sink of the Stupor might actually be the stronger card here. Like, as weird as that is. Like, I can go Improbable Alliance. Hold up, Sink of the Stupor. Go to combat. Swing, swing, swing. This is currently 9. I pass the turn. I use Kitsa. Potentially discard the Locust God. Make a Drake. Sink into Stupor. Their Game Ender, which they're going to play right here. They might play something a little smaller. Vorinclex. Okay. Vorinclex is really good, but that doesn't end the game. They have 6 mana to do something else entirely. This is just return target spell or non-land permanent opponent controls to their hand. Nothing they have has reach. Nothing has reach. They have a bunch of mana. What are they going to do with it? Alright, alright. Tax that mana. Tax that mana. Resolve, resolve. Okay. We do get to draw. They get to play an extra land. Sure. We get to draw, like, 1 more card. Okay, again, that's not going to win the game. And we even have Subtlety as backup now. They get to draw more cards. Sure. They might be digging specifically for something they have that has reach. But like now that we have Sink of the Stupor and Subtlety backup, I think we have this on lockdown. Because this isn't countered, this is put on top or bottom. And the Sink of the Stupor bounces as well, so the Delighted Halfling doesn't help them out. Like, they're paying for the Risic study. And then they weren't, so we do get the draw. Like, okay, your stuff has trample. They have drawn over 30 cards. Here, let's go ahead. We're gonna draw a card, discard a card. You can go ahead and, like, draw the card. Like, the only thing that gets him out is endurance, right? I'm reasonably sure that is their only out. Oh, I could have, like, discarded the Detective's Phoenix for extra value. Whoops. Go to combat. Swing out, and holy shit, we got there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Captain Howler, your crew is A-okay. And that's part of why I really like this build. I get to play stuff like Drake Haven and Improbable Alliance. Improbable Alliance gets the upside of, like, also being a mana outlet to help Howler out. But also we just get to, like, make a bunch of 2/2 flyers that the opponent has trouble dealing with. Like, I'm shocked. I am actually shocked because they had, like, they almost had almost everything. Now, if this had been, like, actual, like, reach Vorinclex, I would have sunk that into stupor, like, so hard, because then all of our flyers can push through. Scrounging Skyray, you did it, buddy. You did it. Your Fishman Karate got there. Like, don't be seeing tales about how you beat the legendary Usopp. GG. Oh boy. Absolutely, like, it's good. It's good. This deck still needs some changes, still needs some modifications and some optimizing. I don't think it's going to be as simple as, like, just put in all the Time Walk. I think this deck could very easily fit a Delve card of some kind, perhaps? Prosper Tomebound, you say? Okay. Prosper can be a very strong control. Heuristic Study helps out a lot with that if we can get that to resolve. We are on the play, so we can Izzet Charm. I'm going to hold up Izzet Charm very specifically. Why? Because they might have removal? I might just go with Improbable Alliance first. I'm trying to think if there's a reason why we want to go. Unctus. I'm gonna need some more Alliance here. Like, if they go turn 1 Thoughtseize, then that's the game as is. Go ahead and play the Improbable Alliance. They're gonna have a really hard time interacting with that. Alright, so there's the theater. They could still go turn 2 Thoughtseize. No, they're gonna go with Cold Steel Heart to help ramp up. I respect that. Grab a basic. Go ahead, drop Heuristic Study. This is at the beginning of the end step. Exile the top card. That's what the Broadside Barrage is gonna help us deal with. Yep, automatically get the value from that. And you get a bolt. We don't want Prosper hanging around. I'm fine dropping Sokins in there. We want to hold on to the basic because they are very, very likely playing some sort of a Blood Moon type effect. Prosper is just so strong as... Oh my god. They're actually going to, like, high up 2 mana to take out a little token fairy. That is what we call hilarious. Okay. They We could also have... I only have 2 red sources. That is the downside to grabbing basics. I only have 2 red sources, then... Go ahead, we'll grab a Vora. And we can also go ahead and crack the blood token like immediately, creating this flame adept for something else. The real value is that we just get the extra token here. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary. Mystic Sanctuary, get back the Broadside Barrage. I would like to have more red sources. That is not a cue to go ahead and drop the Blood Moon, by the way. We can play Mystic Sanctuary. Play Izzet Charm. Draw 2, discard 2. Replay the Barrage. We're not getting value off Captain Howler, but we're still doing A-okay there. Oh. Shoulder comes down. There's that Edict effect I was worried about. Alright, and then it's what? 5 mana with 6 cards in our graveyard. Yeah, we'll put that on top. Here's an interesting conundrum for you, chat. We can use our Boon of the Wishgiver to draw that card immediately. I don't want to. It's actually safer on top of our deck. 5 cards. Izzet Charm does not work if what they have is just a single target 2 mana spell. Okay, so pay the 2 there. Go ahead, pay the 1 there. 2 mana, destroy my card. I could Izzet Charm and force him out of format. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and take the 4 here, I guess. I need to get rid of that shoulder. That's actually just going to be a pain in the patookie later. Alright, iced the opponent. Sure. And then we can just go ahead and start poking in with our tokens. The Beholder is kind of like a Nambo with that. Discard a card. Battle Rage. I don't think this is about Battle Rage. I don't think this is about Battle Rage at all. I think what this is going to be is about attrition of resources. And let's see. Did not draw an extra card. They get Croxa next turn. Am I willing to bolt and lose everything? Beginning of your end step, exile. Whenever you do, you get treasure. Currently, this is what, 4, 5, 6. It's not enough. I'm gonna grab my Shockland. I need more red sources. And then pass the turn. Alright, now we have to discard a card. Let's drop... Witch's Mark is pretty nice. I actually want to hold on to the mountain. But I think we kind of have to. They have 8 cards so they can replay Croxa, no problem. That's really scary. The Celestis actually has the opportunity to grab us a ton of cards back. Probably losing here. Ah, Mayhem Devil is a problem. That is such a huge problem for us. Mayhem Devil is actually a win condition here, which means I really miss not having the bolt now. Okay, how do we want to do this? We can chump block with a fairy forever. Let's go ahead and... Yep. Drop the Celestis. Try and get a redraw. Go ahead. Punch in. These fairies are dying. Ah, no, I don't even get to untap. Shit. Shit. Alright. Alright. Jig is up. Jig is up. Shit. We fucked up. We already played our land for turn. Let's see. They can still do 2 more pings, which means they can go ahead and get rid of the blocker. I am taking 7. They get 2 more pings. But we have the Raking Claws. So they might just hold on to the treasure so they can make it so that way Howler never has to never actually gets to target anything else. Alright, we have to drop a card. I'd love to get rid of the... Let's go ahead and... You big? That is true. The discard does mean that we are significantly stronger on the backswing. Well, there goes Captain Howler. I think that's actually just the game now. House Meld is kind of cool.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. I've always hated crowds.
Alright. So what do? We can get rid of Prosper. We can potentially bounce Croxa. The Mayhem Devil is still a problem. I would like to house meld the Mayhem Devil, if I'm being honest. I can't do anything else right now. That is not within my power to do. I could do 2 damage to target creature. This is 2 damage to any target. Ghostly Pilfer is relevant here. Let's go ahead and 2 damage to Lily.
Whatever.
And then... do I play the Ghostly Pilfer? Target creature gets -3, -3. Target creature gets -3. Creatures your opponents control can't be the targets as though they didn't. It's proof. Alright, so let's go ahead and bounce Croxa. We get a Scry 1. Not gonna do anything here. Alright. The good news is we have our very own Mayhem Devil now. We use our Ghostly Pilfer. Shoot them. Man, I love having a Mayhem Devil. As foretold. What could do as foretold in black? Fatal push, smuggler copter. Fatal push just kills. Again. This is what? Target creature mana value 2 or less. Let's see. How much do we have? Currently have 5, 9. Yeah, we currently have 9. Fumarole, you have. You know what? Let's just do it. Oh, right. Ward abilities don't trigger. Help. What is this? 5 other cards? No! Brask! That's actually really... Oh my god. I think that closes it out. I think that potentially closes it out. What is that? 4 damage to target. I got nothing. I got nothing, folks. I am all out of gas. Like I don't have a Fumarole or anything like that. Copter doesn't work. All right, let's go ahead and just say it's GG's. Ah, God, that is okay. That's actually some cool tech. NTR. I didn't realize that actually got around the hexproof. That's really relevant. That's actually really good for Farika. Oh well. Overall though, like, deck's solid. What are we coming away with? Let me pop over to untap.gg real quick. Go to arena. Like, I felt like we had significantly more losses today, but so far the deck in total is still 63%, 17 wins, 10%. 17 wins, 10 losses. Like, honestly, not bad. Not bad. I respect it. It's good hustle. Good hustle. Deck still has room to improve. It probably would benefit from a Mox if I'm being honest. We're looking at potential cuts. I don't think you're cutting any of the cyclers. Things like Oliphant. I need to stop being greedy and just like cycle these when I have the opportunity so we can get more lands so we can actually play our cards on time. That was hurting us a lot. We got into some of those grind matches where we got to go along, and unfortunately that gives the control decks the ability to shoot Captain Howler. I think what I would like is just a little bit more protection. In terms of counter magic, it's just these. I like Fairy Vandal, but I think in light of where we were struggling a little bit. Timed Explosion. Timed Explosion felt a little awkward. Just a little bit, though. I think there are scenarios and matchups where if we have it, it goes off really hard, and we enjoy having that. Phoenix is still fine. I like Unctus. Kaido is an all-star. I like Drakehaven. Key to the City. I should probably be more conscious of when this is relevant, because if you can get this going on a Captain Howler, it's a really good way to go ahead and punch through. The upside of running things like Sky Crash, like Shredded Sails, is that even though they are niche, you can still cycle them away to try and draw something that's a little more helpful. You kind of also get that effect with just normal pitch spells, though. We're missing out. Demand Answers. Skyray scales up very, very nicely. Scales up on the discard more so than like the second draw, which means that you can actually scale it up so much better if you need to discard multiple cards in a single turn. I think... I'm not sure how I feel about Ominous Seas. The cycling feels really good. I think if we had gotten something like Ominous Seas in that Prosper matchup, we might have had a chance because now they have to spend resources on Ominous Seas, but now it's also remove 8 counters for it. That might not be worth running. It feels like we're going to get a octopus, and it's just here a cycle disbarner. If that's going to be the case, I'd rather just have a little bit more gas. Frostbite potentially. Frostbite potentially bolts something, and that's why we're running it. I feel like I wouldn't mind having just a tad more spot removal. I'm not sure how I feel about the Flame Blade Adept. It's a 1-drop. It benefits from the cycling, but doesn't like scale per se. I think the Menace helps out though, because that means that we have an easier time pushing through and getting that damage. If we were to take a look at like the single targets, I need to wrap this up. So just looking at like the single target removal here, Izzet Charm is kind of like, it's a little bit of column A, it's a little bit of column B. And it does work very, very nicely with what we're trying to do. Raking Claws is good for that aggro finish. Yeah, we never got a chance to get Monument to Endurance up, but when it goes up so good. So maybe that is a reason to put in the Mox. Like maybe what I do is I go ahead and I cut those. And even though I like Ill-Timed Explosion, I feel like we just want something a little bit. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and grab Chrome Mox. We're gonna grab one good counter spell. Let's see. Let's grab 2 mana counter something. We'll run Disdainful Stroke's an option. I don't think we're playing soft permission anymore. I think we are just playing actual factual counterspell. And then we're also looking for 1 burn spell. And then the spell that we're playing, we could play like say a Reckless Rage that could go a while. Fiery Impulse only hits creatures. We want something that hits creatures and planeswalkers. Wild Slash does hit creatures or planeswalkers. It might just be Strangle. I would like to have that. I'd like it to be instant though. Like maybe it is a Flame Blast Bolt. If it's 1 mana, you're not gonna get a lot. Fire is probably your best. Flame Blast Bolt is really good for getting rid of your option. In general, I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something I'm missing. Maybe it's like not at 1 minute too. Could potentially play in a Braid. We have some decent artifact removal already as is. Turn and Burn might actually be it. I think I would play a Turn and Burn over a Strangle and then call that good, because Turn and Burn actually does help us get over the hump with the really big stuff. So that is the deck for Captain Howler. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you're on the YouTube side, go ahead and don't forget to subscribe. We're going to go ahead and end the stream for YouTube right there. And then if you are on the Twitch side, don't go anywhere. We're going to go ahead and raid into